Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to solve every clue in the recent Cyberpunk 2077 ARG hosted by Samsung, known as QLEDecode. Hello, my name is John, and if you were on the r/ARG Discord during the competition, you'll recognize me as John M, aka the Bot Whisperer. This video is part 1, and I'll be showing you how to solve every clue released during week 1 of the competition, October 26th through the 31st. To follow along this video, you will need the following tools and websites: Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, Audacity, Notepad++, 7-zip file manager, JP hide and seek, a binary to ASCII converter, and a base64 decoder. Lastly, before we begin, I have to give a shout out to Discord user, the Sea Maiden, Sounds of the Time. Her notes were invaluable to the creation of this video. The date is October 26th at 1:04 p.m. Reddit user Night City Burner posts the following message to r/ARG. Strange shipment heading to Night City. So this package comes into port. Suspicious address, Night City, California. Contents listed as classified. The whole thing reeks of contraband. One way to find out is to intercept it and crack it open. I got a buddy who can help. Check out the file below and tell him a little birdie sent you. 1 hour later, at around 2:25 p.m., Night City Burner would also post the same message in r/Cyberpunk game. If we click on the link, it'll bring us to this page. Here we have an audio file named shipment77.wav. Let's listen to what it sounds like. Right, so that was kind of annoying and not very helpful. Let's download the file and take a closer look. So let's examine the file in Audacity. Start by opening the file. Alright, we have our file loaded. Nothing interesting to see. Change to spectrograph, and we get an Instagram account name, Robert John Underground. So let's head over to Instagram and take a look at that. Alright, so I already have the account pulled up. You'll see here we have an Instagram account with a lot of pictures posted on it. Now I should note there were 2 other ways you could have found this Instagram page. For example, on the 27th of October, Samsung made this post on Twitter. A container full of top secret tech has gone missing. If you have information about its whereabouts, contact us or Xbox. It must be found. If we take a closer look at that image, zoom in on it, you'll see that it has IG at Robert John Underground. This is right there in the picture. And the last way you could have found about it was from the official contest page, which will be published on October 29th. Here we have a picture of the prize, the 75-inch TV. If you look closely, right here, we have IG at Robert John Underground. So there was multiple ways you could have found out about the contest. Now back to the Instagram. So let's pretend that you found the clue on Reddit, and it's still October 26th. On Instagram you will see 12 images, starting with this one, and ending with this one here. The stuff above hasn't been posted yet. So if you look at each one of these images, you will see that there is binary hidden in each one. So in this picture it's up here. If you pick this one, we see there's binary in the eyeball, and pick another one at random, there's binary down here on the ground. So at this point what you'll want to do is copy all that binary down into a text file. Now if you're following along, something you should note is you'll want to get the binary from the most recent image first. So that would be this one. Take the binary from this picture, then this one, then this, and work your way on down until you get to the last one. Don't do it in the other way around. So once you've copied all that binary down, it'll look something like this. I've already copied it into a binary to ASCII translator. So what you want to do, copy it in there, and hit translate. You get this string. And now this string is a bunch of letters and numbers in mixed case, so uppercase and lowercase. And this is actually base64 encoded. And if you run this through a base64 decoder, you get I sell Militech, luxury Netgear, and smuggled goods. Now you're going to want to write down this part, because this is going to become important later on. Now this is actually where we hit our first time gate. So we won't be able to do anything else for another 2 days. On October 28th, there will be a new post on Instagram. This one, which reads, "Word is new body mod tech and firmware updates drop tomorrow. Check back." And there's another time gate. We wait another 24 hours. And then on the 29th at 1:59 p.m., we get this post, which reads, "It's here. This new firmware update makes every mod 25% more efficient. You ready? Find it." Well, finding it isn't that hard because it is just in the bio. It's posted here. But in case you couldn't find it, if you went back to the previous image, straight up tells you, want to upgrade to the latest mods? Link in bio. So not too difficult there. Now, before we click on that link, I want to say there's 2 other things that happened today, which, if we're playing along, is October 29th. We get this post from the Instagram, which explains what the contest is. It says, "Here's a deal. Contraband is being smuggled into Night City. A friend of a friend tipped me off, but I'll need some help intercepting it from the corpos. If you can infiltrate the shipping container, you can win what's inside. The Samsung QLED TV Cyberpunk Limited Edition, an Xbox Series X, and the new release from Cyberpunk game. Sweet, right? Just gotta get there first." And then there's a link which takes you to the official contest page. The other new thing is that the official contest page went live on this date, but I showed you that earlier, so we're not going to look at it again. Now we scroll up, click on the link, and that takes us here. Now here on this page, which looks very similar to the page we got the audio file from, the only difference being that it's red, and this time instead of a sound file, we have a 7-zip file with a name that's base64 encoded. So we'll go ahead and download that. And now, to be able to open a 7-zip, you will need the 7-zip file manager, which you can download for free. Now, before we attempt to open that 7-zip, let's run the name of that file through a base64 decoder, and we'll see that it comes out as "no music, but it's time to dance," with no spaces. That doesn't really help us. So, we'll open our 7-zip file manager, attempt to open the file. It's going to ask us for a password. Now you may be thinking, well, I don't know what the password is. That's fine. You'll actually get a hint. The Reddit user Night City Burner will actually post one last time a comment in r/ARG, which reads, "My contact speaks binary code on Instagram." And that's a hint that we need the binary from those first 12 Instagram posts. Now if you remember that, it translated to this when we ran it through a binary to ASCII converter. We'll copy that text, and as it turns out, that is actually the password. So back in 7-zip file manager, double click on our file, and then enter that for the password, and we're able to see the contents. In here we have firmware ISO mods v99.rtf. So we'll extract that. And we have this file, and it's a rich text format, so let's open it in Word and see what we got. So that's absolute garbage. It doesn't mean anything to me, and I'm going to assume it doesn't mean anything to you. Let's try opening it with Notepad++ instead. Alright. Still kind of looks like garbage. Let's try scrolling a little bit. Oh, here we go. Here's something. "No firmware here, Netrunner." And below that we have a message. And now this message is all in one line, but it reads, "Ha ha ha, I knew y'all be too gung-ho for better mods." Well, that ain't the case, but I do have more info on that luxury home tech shipment that I was telling y'all about. The Samsung QLED TV Cyberpunk Limited Edition and Xbox Series X. Surely you haven't forgot. The whole thing's headed for the corpos in Night City, unless you can get it first. It's special stuff, only a few in the world made like it. How do I know? I got friends in high places. So I know where it is and where it's headed, but it's a lost cause for me. But that doesn't mean you can't snag it for yourself. I'm calling all Netrunners. Steal the shipment back from the corpos. One of y'all ought to be able to pull it off. I'll give you the intel to log into the storage, or into the final storage facility. But once you're in there, you're on your own. I can only get 15 of you access, though. 15 URLs. But only 5 of you will have a chance to get the goods. Stay tuned, rocker boys, and follow my clues. We don't want this too easy, or the corpos might adjust their security. and you might just become one of the 15. To the victor goes the spoils. I dropped a net URL somewhere in this file. It'll lead you to more info. I'll be posting extra material to help in the coming days. Keep those Karoshi eyes peeled, pals. Sometimes you gotta look really carefully. That's all on this line here. I wrote it out somewhere else so that'd be easier to read. Keyword there, near the end. It says, keep those Karoshi eyes peeled, and that's a company in the game. But if we search this file for that word, we'll find it shows up one other time near the bottom of the file, right here. And then next to that, we have another URL. Well, there's a little bit of junk in the middle of it, this part. If you were to get rid of that, you now have this URL. So copy that, go to that site. We get another 7-zip. Let's download that one as well. Alright, so open the 7-zip file manager. We have our new file. Try to open that one. It's going to ask us for a password. Now at this point we're stuck. We have another time gate, and we'll have to wait till tomorrow for more clues. So we'll just wait on that and head back over to Instagram and wait for something new. It is now October 30th. At 11:29 a.m. we'll get our first Instagram story. It looks like this. Still looking for the password? It's here, right under your noses. Check the 12. Now that is a hint for anyone who hadn't figured out the password for the first package. Telling them to go back to the first 12 images and look at the binary in them. Moving forward, at 12:21 p.m. we get 3 new images. These 3. Now don't be fooled, when these first went up, this image did not look like this. None of the blue and red and green stuff was on the image. And these 3 images are actually all crops out of this picture here. So the middle image looked like this when I first went up. Now each of these images is posted with some binary. So starting from the most recent, we have this binary. We're just going to copy all this and put it in a binary to text converter. Or binary to ASCII converter. Copy the next one. And then, oops. Copy the last one. Put it together. And it reads, some missing spaces in here. But what is in the center of it all? RGBA. And then, back at Instagram, moving forward a few hours, at 6:35 p.m., the second and third images are deleted. A new version of this image is uploaded with this extra stuff overlaying it, and this one's is re-uploaded unaltered. Look at this one now. You'll see there is some red, some green, and some blue text overlaying it. And then we'll also get another Instagram story a few minutes later, well 10 minutes later at 6:47. We get our second Instagram story, which looks like this. The second package's password is tricky. RRGGBB1. Don't look at that. Where's the R, G, and B? Close that. So look at this. RGBA refers to the color channels in common image formats such as PNG, JPEG, or bitmap, where R stands for your red channel, G is your green, B is your blue channel, and A stands for alpha, or your transparency. Alright, so now if we look at this image, starting with red, or R, you see there's a 9 and a 1 in the middle of the red string here. Those are the only numbers that appear in this string. Then we look at the green for G, and we get an 8 and a 1 in the middle of it, and then in the blue there's a 7 and a 4. So R, G, B. So our password is going to be 918174 and then 1 for A. So we go over to our 7-zip file manager, attempt to open the second package. We put in 918174 and hit enter. We have 2 files in here. There's hideandseek.jpg and a base64 encoded file name that ends in .wav. Let's extract those. Now before I forget, if we base64 decode the second 7-zip file, or the second package, we get can't kill me, I'm 0s and 1s. but that's not really important. Just a fun fact. So now if we examine the extracted contents from the second package, we have this sound file and this image. Let's look at the sound file first. Let's listen to it. Okay, so that didn't really tell us anything. It's got a name that looks like it's base64 encoded. Let's try running that through the base64 encoder, or decoder. It says for the corpos. Let's try opening the file in Audacity like we did with the original sound file they gave us. Alright, so I have the file open in Audacity. Let's go change to spectrogram. That's an interesting image. Scale that a little better, and yep, that looks like a fish. So I'm going to say with between the fish image and the title being for the corpos, I'd say this is a red herring. So let's take a look at that image instead. Alright, so we have hide and seek.jpg. Let's look at that. We have this image. It's nice looking, but it doesn't really tell me anything. It doesn't really give us any clues, now does it? Now you can look at this picture all you want. You can zoom in on it, look real close at every spot on it, and you're not going to find anything. Now, the key here is the title of, or the name of the file, hide and seek. This is actually a reference to a program called JP Hide and Seek, which is a steganography tool. So, and you can download that for free as well. If I remember, I'll put links in the description for all the programs you'll need. Alright, so I have JP Hide and Seek installed on my computer. Now you're going to need to run the GUI version of the application. Don't run it from the command line, or it's going to have problems and you won't be able to extract anything from the file. So we'll open up we'll run the program. And yep, this looks pretty old because it is. We'll hit Open JPEG and grab the image we just downloaded. And hide is the function used for hiding stuff in images. So we're going to use seek to see if we can find something in here. It's going to ask you for a passphrase. Now here's the kicker. There is none. Just hit OK, and you'll be able to extract whatever you want. Now you have to give the output file a name. We're just going to call it out, and we don't really know what kind of file it is. But considering our input file was a JPEG, let's go on a limb and guess the output file is a JPEG too. We'll hit save. And it didn't give us an error message, so it worked. So we'll go back to my downloads folder, and we have out.jpg. Let's open that up. Alright, we got this image. It says, more than meets the eye, in LeetSpeak. Now this image is actually a reference to an older ARG, an older Cyberpunk ARG, where there was an image that said more than meets the eye on it. And that one you had to open the image up in like Notepad++. You'd find a link in that one. So we're going to open this up in Notepad++. Alright, so up here we have the completely illegible JPEG format, and we'll scroll to the bottom where we'll find YouTube channel, and then this name, which is base64 encoded. So before we go over to YouTube, let's try running that through a base64 encoder, just for fun. We get RJ port feed. Okay, let's head over to YouTube now. So if we search for that name on YouTube, we find this channel with that name and then the word redacted. Now, I'm looking at this in the future from when we're solving it, so this image or this video here was not there when you first found this page on October 30th. But these three videos were here. You can view each of these videos, and they all have kind of glitchy nonsense videos that don't really provide you any information. Each one has a title and a description that's base64 encoded. You can check all of these. So in the first video, the title translates to Watson. The description translates to waterfront. Now moving on to the second video. The title translates to Westbrook, and the description translates to Oak. And then lastly, the third video, the title translates to Haywood, and the description translates to Plaza. Now, these three things are all places in the Cyberpunk 2077 fictional city, Night City. And then the actual interesting thing here is on our third video, we actually have a comment from the channel that says, shipment November 1st, 5 EST. And that's Eastern Standard Time. Now, it doesn't say if that's AM or PM. As it turns out, that's PM. But at this point, you don't know that, so you might wake up at 5 AM on November 1st, just in case. But that is our next time gate, and that's also where I'll be ending part 1 of this series. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a like and leave a comment. But don't subscribe. I hate it when you do that. Anyhow, this video took a lot of effort to put together. I'm not making another one unless you tell me you want more. So if you want part 2, leave a comment. Finally, shout out to all my new friends on r/ARG Discord. You guys are the best. Until next time.